Welcome to Morning Java, brought to you by GetGo Cafe and Market, where the theme this month, John, is to eat fresh. And of course, you can do that at GetGo. They have a lot of great salads with fresh chicken. You can get the mozzarella, the fresh vegetables, all that good stuff on top of it. Good eating.
Good eating, and it's a good way to start the year.
So, John, you were down in Bradenton last week, and you got to see a couple of pitchers down there who are rehabbing, coming back from injuries. And these are two pretty important guys for the Pirates.
Yeah, they really are. Chris Archer and Joe Musgrove, both going to be in the starting rotation and both going to be counted on heavily to build off the strong finishes they had last season. Both had abdominal surgeries. Archer had a hernia repaired in November. Musgrove in October had a pelvic stress reaction.
It sounds very
repaired.
painful.
Yeah, and I asked him, I said, that can't be, it has to hurt. And he downplayed it, everybody pitches through stuff. I said, I don't know too many guys that ever pitched through a pelvic stress reaction, but, he downplayed it. They both seem very much on course to be ready by opening day. They may not be ready when the exhibition games start on February 23rd down in Florida, but they don't need to be as long as they're ready for the regular season. That's a big plus for the Pirates, and they both were optimistic, and more importantly, the training staff was optimistic too, because players were always going to say they're going to be ready regardless. So there's a good feeling there that they'll both be good to go on opening day.
Yeah, and the Pirates really need those guys even more so maybe than Gregory Polanco to start the season, because that's the strength of this team, the pitching staff, and if they're missing not one but two pieces, it could be a tough start.
Oh, I agree. I think, you add those two to Jamison Tyone and Trevor Williams and whoever the fifth starter will be, Jordan Lyles or Nick Kingham or whoever, Stephen Brault. I think when it comes down to it, they have the best starting rotation in the National League Central. I don't know if you can say that at too many other positions that they're best in the division, but they certainly have the best rotation 1 through 5.
So the people in Las Vegas have set the Pirates over-under this season at 78.5. Now, I know last year I believe it was 75 or 74.5, depending on where you look.
Yeah.
So they're looking at this and saying that the Pirates have actually improved a little bit, or their outlook on the Pirates has improved a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it goes back to the starting pitching with the Pirates. They have, top to bottom, the best rotation in the division, and I know it's a baseball cliche, but if you have good starting pitching, you always give yourself at least a fighting chance to win a game, and I think that's probably where the number comes from. And, they exceeded the number last year. They won 82, and I must admit, I didn't think, and I don't think many people thought they would win 82 games after trading McCutchen and Cole. So, they certainly could go over again with that pitching staff.
It was kind of a surprising number to me because the rest of the NL Central seems to have gotten better.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's, they just went out and got big-name guys, but they went out and got big-name guys.
They did, and you look at the Brewers. They just signed Yasmani Grandal, who's an all-star catcher, one of the best in the game at that position. The Cubs really didn't need to go out and sign a big name this year, but they're the Cubs, and they have money, and it could still happen between now. There's plenty of time between now and spring training. The Cardinals got Paul Goldschmidt, one of the best hitters, power hitters, and just all-around hitters in baseball. And the Reds even did some things. They got Yasiel Puig and Matt Kemp and Alex Wood from the Dodgers, and they got Tanner Roark from the Nationals. So, yeah, I think the division's improved as a whole, and that's probably, I was a little bit surprised the Pirates' win total went from 74.5 to 78.5 from one year to the next. But I still think with that starting pitching, the over might be the way to go.
So the Pirates this offseason bring back a familiar face, and Jeff Banister, of course, he had been managing the Texas Rangers, had been in the Pirates organization, though, for a long time. What is his role going to be in the organization, John?
Well, I talked to Jeff down at minicamp in Bradenton, and it's kind of fluid right now, but it seems he'll mainly be around the big league club as a de facto kind of extra coach. I mean, the coaching staff has no vacancies. So
is he going to be the replay coach?
He might be. He might be. Maybe he could be a two-way star like Bo Jackson. He could be the replay guy for the Pirates and the Steelers. But, yeah, it's sort of to be determined. I think it's going to just be fluid as the season goes on. But all indications are he's going to be around the big league team majority of the time. And I find that quite interesting because usually a lot of times special assistants, they'll do a little scouting. They might go see the minor league teams. They might be around the big league team for a while. And for him to be around the major league team the majority of the time tells me that he might be the manager in waiting for the Pirates.
Yeah, this is a situation where they could be just bringing him back to allow him to get a feel for the organization again.
Yeah, I think so. And, I think a lot of people forget, but when Hurdle got hired after the 2010 season, him and Jeff Banister were the last two candidates, and I think really what held Banister back from getting the job then was the public perception of you lost so many years in a row. I forget what the streak would have been at that point, and now you've turned around.
Around 15 or so, yeah.
And now you've turned around and you've promoted somebody within your own organization to try to get this turned around. But people know Jeff Banister. He's a great baseball guy, a great person, a real people person. And, he had a pretty good run in Texas the first 2 years, and then when all his pitchers went away, it was kind of like any other manager, it's hard to win. But he was the American League Manager of the Year in 2015, so this isn't some charitable thing, well, let's just bring Banny back because he's a good guy. I mean, he adds something to the table, there's no doubt.